Just gonna do a quick review. Another watch, lovely little watch I picked up on eBay for $40. It's a vintage Timex, a new wine watch. From what I can tell, this particular one is manufactured in 1974. It says Great Britain on the dial, which means this watch was manufactured in the factory in Scotland, in Dundee. This one has a manual wind, Timex caliber M25 movement, no jewels, beats at 18,000 vibrations per hour. So by today's standards, it's quite slow. So you can clearly see the second hands there. It's a slow beat movement. Performance-wise, it's actually really good considering this watch is 43 years old. I assume it's never been serviced since these Timexes were, even back then it was these watches were never made to be very super accurate, high-end watches. These were affordable, reliable, watches that everyone can afford. So this particular one is running at plus 20 to 25 seconds per day. It's a bit hard to time this watch exactly because there's no minute markers, but around 20-25 seconds per day, which I think is pretty good for a watch this old. Power reserve, I got at least 30 hours. So on a full wine. So after 30 hours, it was still running. So it's good there. So this watch is, I personally don't think this watch has been worn that much because consider it's in very good shape. The crystal, it has scratches, but it's nothing major. Probably been polished over the years. And the case, the gold plating is still in great shape. There's no flaking off here and there. It's the plating is still intact in all the areas. The dial is in great shape too. It's got beautiful sunburst effect. Champagne dial. I really like this watch. Got a date on 3 o'clock. It's a manual wind movement, so you have to manually wind it. You run, as I said, I haven't really timed it, but after 30 hours it's still running. The date is not quick set, so if you want to set the date, I haven't found a way to do it faster, because you have to move the hour hand forward, 24 hours to set the date. And if I turn the hour hand backwards, and the date will also turn backwards. So a lot of these old watches without quick set date, you can advance the hours to the past midnight, so the date changes, and you can move the hour hand backwards and back and forth, and that way you can set the date a little bit faster. But this one, I don't know if that's possible. Case is this is a small, quite small watch by today's standards, 34 millimeters. Lug width is 19 on this one. Luckily I actually had a black 19 millimeter strap laying around, so I think it looks great with the black strap on this gold plated case. Overall, I'm very happy. It took me a while to actually find one in good condition. A lot of these watches, really beaten up, scratched, dinged to hell. So you have to look a while to find one in good condition. This one took me a good while to find one, and I got it for a pretty good price. Prices on these vintage Timexes I've seen, a mint one, a perfect condition one, I've seen goes over $100. So price is actually going up, I think, on a lot of these vintage pieces, and maybe just me, but it's something I noticed. So I'm gonna put it on my wrist to give you an idea how this wears on a very small wrist. So you can see this is a 34 millimeter. It looks bigger, of course, on camera. Watches always look a lot bigger on me than it actually in person. You know, personally, I think this watch looks a lot more expensive than actually is. You know, looks great with the black leather strap. So if you, I think, if you're after a vintage piece but you don't have a lot of money to spend or don't want to spend a lot of money on a vintage watch, you know, Timex. I mean, Timex is it's the way to go. You know, you can find one. You can find one in reasonably good condition for less than $50 if you take your time and dig a little bit on eBay. And I'm certainly very happy with this. Definitely gonna keep this one. Okay, thanks.